Hey, what is going on, creatives? In this video, we're going to be making lo-fi guitar beats, whether it's for study, for work, for cleaning your house, for singing, maybe for rapping, who knows. But this certainly will involve melancholic guitar melodies and that calm, relaxing lo-fi mood. So if you clicked on this video and you're watching this right now, that means you have some kind of interest in lo-fi, whether you are a music producer or you just want to entertain yourself. That's fine too. You can just make yourself a nice warm cup of tea or coffee, sit back, relax and chill. I hope everyone will find value in this video, whether you play the guitar or not. I have an amazing, mad, talented friend who plays the guitar really good and can come up with really nice emotional melodies on the fly, and he came over the other day. We recorded many different melodies. I'm gonna link the video vlog from that day somewhere here on the screen. You should probably be able to see it by now. And so you're gonna ask me, what if I don't play the guitar and I don't have a friend who's mad talented and can come up with melodies on the fly? I have a way for you to still find really nice samples. Open your Chrome browser and go to Chrome Web Store. Search for extension called Sample. Install it. I already have it installed. For you, this button would be different. It would say installed, and once you click on the button, it's going to be added to the list of your extensions into your Chrome browser. And here's the icon of this extension. This is what it looks like. Essentially, it is a sampling plugin for your browser. You can sample any kind of sound from any kind of website and use it for your production. Here's what it looks like. Very simple. The record button, the stop button. Now all you gotta do is go and search for samples anywhere you like. I usually go on YouTube, type something like samples for beats or just samples, and it's gonna give you an extensive list of music and perhaps other producers that post their loops on YouTube that you can use for your production. We are going to keep it simple and minimalistic. Let's get to business. I have 3 guitar melodies that my friend played. Here's the first one. Here's the second melody. And the third melody. Here's all 3 of them together. They already sound great. My friend played really good and on time. I think he did a phenomenal job, and I wasn't going out of my way to make it sound better because it's already really, really good. The effects we're going to be adding are very subtle. First and foremost, it's EQ, removing low end and bringing the high end down ever so slightly. Some guitar samples may have a bit of a sharp high end, and so you got to watch out for those. Next, I added Wolf compressor, preset called Bad 1990s Digital. You can add any compression, even Fruity compressor would work just fine. It's really more about bringing the higher and the lower peaks a little bit closer together. Next, I added Vintage chorus. Again, you can add any chorus. I just picked the one that I like. And last plugin in this chain is Valhalla Supermassive, only 22% mix. I didn't want to drown it in reverb too much. I'm gonna play this melody again without effects and with effects. Moving on to the second melody, and you will notice that all 3 of these melodies will have a very similar mix chain. And it's really just an EQ, compression, chorus, and reverb. Keep it simple. Second melody, I basically copied the EQ from the first one. Compression, same plugin, same preset. Again, you can use any compression you want. Third plugin, chorus free plugin by Cymatics. But again, just use any chorus, go through the presets, pick the one that you like and roll with it. Third plugin, reverb called Row Gold by Black Rooster Audio. This was a free plugin. It does have a little bit of that vintage feel. So now I'm gonna play this melody without the effects and then with. Okay, and the third melody is more of a complementary accent melody. Exactly the same EQ as the previous two. Exactly the same compression as the previous two. Exactly the same chorus as the previous melody. And then I found this plugin by Waves. It's called LOFI Space Stereo. I never really used it, but I went through the presets. I didn't like a lot about it. I don't think it's a super high quality plugin, but whatever. I just left this Spring Reverb preset on it and called it a day and reduced the mix level to 17%. The last plugin in this chain is Baby Comeback Delay 1/8. That's really it. I'm gonna play without the effects and with effects. Now, all three of these melodies with effects. I know, sounds really good, right? Cool, let's go over the drums. And like I already mentioned, I wanted to keep it super simple. So we have kick, snare, hi-hat, bass, and pad sound. Here's the kick, here's the snare, here's hi-hat, and this is the drum pattern that I came up with. And that's it. That just plays throughout the whole beat, keeping it simple. As for effects, kick only has parametric EQ, and I think I added preset kick. Snare has a parametric EQ, and I only removed low end. Hat has only a parametric EQ, and I didn't do nothing to it. It's important to mention the sound selection, preferably live drums. For example, if we take the snare, you can see that high end was already removed. And so that doesn't mean that you just have to go and hunt for specifically this kind of snare. You can remove that high end using EQ yourself. Just do a cut like this and you should be okay. Make sure you pick drums that already fit the style. So look for either boom bap drums or buy drum kits from lo-fi producers like Eldre, or just go on Reddit and search for lo-fi drum kits. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of those. The drums that I use from Stash Drums Volume 1 by homie Homage. He is a boom bap beat maker. I downloaded these drums a long time ago and I keep coming back to them. I think they're really nice sounding drums. Shout out to Homage. The same with hi-hat. Remember, lo-fi is low fidelity. That means missing the crispness. It shouldn't have a lot of presence, so the quality is slightly degraded. All of the plugins like bit crushers, tape emulators are going to be good for that. Moving on to the bass, when it comes to lo-fi beats, 99% of the time I use this free plugin, Keybase. And I think it's probably one of the best free bass plugins out there. And so here's my bass pattern. Originally it was just this. And I just wanted to beef it up a little bit. And what I did, I added the same notes in a higher octave. And here's what it sounds like now. As for effects, parametric EQ, I really tightened up the high end and boosted around 46 hertz and removed around 68. That's where the kick hits, and I wanted to make sure the kick punches through. Then I added Fruity Wave Shaper. This is a really dope, nice little plugin. It just adds a bit of a grit. You can really experiment and add it to anything you want, even melodies, but I usually add it to drums to add more punch. Here's what bass sounds like with effects. The change is very subtle, but I think now it has just a little more crunch. However, I don't think lo-fi beats need a very beefy, heavy, distorted bass. It's really more about the sub bass and usually very low volume. Some lo-fi beats don't even have bass. Pick your bass wisely and don't overdo it with effects. All right, so the last melody I have here is pad melody. And to be frank, this wasn't even necessary. For some reason, I just wanted to fill out the space a little bit with something that's very, very subtle and in the background. In this case, I was itching to add something like this, and I found this pad. I'm not gonna pay too much attention to this because you can hear it's very quiet. It's just kind of filling out the space in the mix. Parametric EQ on it, cutting both highs and lows, and here's what it sounds like. So one more but kind of important detail. In the beginning of this beat, I added Cymatics Origin Vintage plugin. It degrades the quality of the sample, adds texture, it has saturation, movement, and it has chorus. I automated this knob. Here is what the automation looks like. It basically turns plugin in the intro. Once the chorus drops, the effect goes out just to signify the end of the intro and the development of the beat, because it's kind of very drastic and it drowns the beat in this effect, and I didn't want it to be present throughout the whole thing, and so I dropped it right after the intro. So I'm gonna play the beat now.